From the first stories told in firelit caves to the electronically recorded messages of deep space, we leave the 20th century with no regrets. Time bends, space is boundless, and when humanity gasps its last, all that will remain, if anything, will be the theater of tomorrow. Tonight's production is The End and How It Began.
Hello, my brothers and sisters of the wastes of Earth. This is Tacitus with the whispers from what was. Ever since Invasion Day, with an oral experience to pass the time away and solidify within your soul the spirit of resilience, resistance, and perseverance. Earth may be abandoned now, but we will rise again. I will find each and every one of you. If anyone is out there, if anyone is listening, I'm with you. Your pal Tac is with you, collecting bits of history left behind to piece together the mystery of what happened to humankind. Now let me settle down on your eardrums with something right here from the files of the American Midwest, where Tacitus recently found a treasure trove of knowledge. I shit you not. These are the audio files of what was.
I'm gonna ask you like a question too, and then you...
Are you a journalist?
I'm not just recording for fun. I'm recording because I think that this is going to be useful. I'm going to go ahead and you can chat whatever
Yeah, sure.
you want to say.
Probably works.
For the record, this is file number 12. Yeah, go ahead. Tell me whatever you want.
Right now?
Yeah.
Just, okay. What do you want me to say?
Whatever you remember. Why don't you start when it happened?
Okay. I mean, it was August 14th, 2007. I didn't actually find out what happened until the night. It was like, it was 11:30 in the morning when we noticed them. That's when they came.
Where were you?
I was at the theater, North Rock 6. They were showing Stand Ashore Timeless, an old Randy Jacobson movie. I walked home. I didn't have a car, so I was walking home listening to music. I had my headphones in, so I was sort of in my own world, and I was reading. I read while I walk, I didn't realize anything was going on. I took a nap when I got home. I napped.
What did you think when you saw the saucer?
Well, I mean, it was almost 7 before I saw the news, and we didn't have a saucer. I was in Decatur, in Illinois, Decatur, Illinois. We didn't have one. The nearest one was, I guess, St. Louis, but I mean, eventually they sent one to us as well. I don't know. I saw the news and they came, and I mean they were everywhere, the whole world. I called some people. My dad called me and my sisters. I didn't really react though. No one did, right? I feel like no one did. There was that soundbite they played everywhere for a short while that we could still play soundbites. It was the president, and he said, "Stay calm.
Stay home.
Stay home.
We are in communication with them."
that's when everyone got scared, right? We had like 2 days, not quite, of sort of waiting. Obviously, there were lots of people freaking out already. I remember what happened to the Orlando airport.
The Orlando airport?
Yeah. Yeah, it got shut down because all the tourists tried to leave, and then, all the major airports shut down. And it's not like people... We were scared, I guess, but most of us didn't... Like, we were in our homes thinking, so where am I supposed to run to? I'm sorry. Okay, hang on. There's a line from The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. You know it?
Vaguely.
Okay,
I haven't read it.
Okay, well, it's when the Vogon ships appeared, and it's something like people were running into their houses, people were running out of their houses, but there was nowhere to go. It's not that. I can't really remember the actual line. I'm sure it's funnier than that. But when the president said that...
We are in communication with them.
What does that mean? In communication? That means anything? It means nothing. If we just said hello to the outside of the ship, that's in communication. If they show up and announce they're going to harvest our blood, that's in communication. They could just be shooting prime numbers at each other. It was just enough information to let us know that there's more information they aren't giving us. Especially the stay home part. Stay home. That's that wrong, I think. I had a communications degree, so maybe I'm overthinking this a bit, but no. I mean, no, right? Look where we are now. So I was right. We were all right. Who worried?
So at that point, then, when you started to feel actually worried, what did you do?
Gosh, Okay, wait. How about this? Here's what I know they didn't do. What did you just ask? What?
So when you started getting worried at that point, as you say, what then did you do when you started feeling that way?
Yeah. I'm sorry. It's all a little bit fuzzy. There was all these lootings and fires everywhere, and people went nuts, which I actually thought was kind of funny, like in a gallows humor sort of way. Because whenever I would see that in movies, like when the end is nigh, I never really bought it. There was an episode of Sliders. You watch it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, there's a flood or a meteor.
A meteor.
Yeah, something. Something was gonna end the world, and people were just in the streets rioting, having sex, and going nuts. And
Right.
I always thought, like, no way. No, people don't want to spend their last minutes on fire. Yeah, that one I got wrong. We started eating each other. Figuratively. The rolling blackouts came after that. I still don't know if that was us or them. And I don't know if it was the chaos or the government or if they were doing whatever. So I didn't have power at all the third day. I called my family again to see if they were okay, but I stayed off the phone to keep the charge. Some of my neighbors were getting like a sort of a posse together to go to the Walmart to get doomsday supplies. And I didn't go because I figured if the Walmart hadn't been picked clean already, it was going to be a war zone. Yeah. I don't know what happened, but they didn't come back. Not one of them.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. What are you gonna do?
At what point was this now? I mean, how much time had passed at that point?
4 days. 4 days. Then that was when the rest of the saucers came. What, the 300 for us, 30 for Canada, 100,000 for India. Population density was the thing. I think about 1 million people per saucer we figured out. That's when you started seeing things like tanks on TV, jets flying overhead. The police left. Everyone left. I don't know where they thought they could go. Running out of their houses felt productive, I guess. I stayed. I called my family. Didn't get a hold of my sister. My dad was making his way to the cabin. I was terrified beyond the capacity for rational thought, but I had nowhere to go. I could see the saucers from my front yard now. And then the information stopped.
What do you mean?
It just stopped. Well, when my power came back on, I was watching the news, trying to get any information about them. They were reporting that we had lost contact with the rest of the world. And what the real kicker is that they divided us all up by country. We didn't know what was going on in Canada and Mexico unless you could shout across the border. Wrap your mind around that. How is that possible? How's that even possible? How did they keep us isolated? We could see all our own news, but not anyone else's. That's not how technology works, right? Like even the internet, we could only see American websites. We could only call inside our own country's phone lines. And like that's magic. This is basically magic. And beyond just a display of their power and intellect, which is considerable, the real boggle was why? Why do that at all? Why not stop all information? Why cut us off from each other? I don't know. I don't know. And it's so weird to make the distinction with us. What do they care if North America is 3 countries to us? Why isn't it just one landmass?
Why do you think that is then?
Well, I mean, your guess is as good as mine. You know, any comforting answer sounds like a fiction. I mean, and even all that's just our best guess. Stuff we heard from people who jumped the border. I mean, maybe Spain and Portugal could talk to each other. Who knows? But what we do know is that they blinded us and isolated us. And so we guess. Best guess? Then we don't even know how the other nations reacted if they fought back. Right? We didn't. All we know is the last thing the president told us before the lights went out.
Are you... What exactly are you referring to, the president said?
Of all the things I remember today, yeah. This is, I remember this. We must cooperate with the newcomers. We have been made aware of their intentions.
If we resist, it will only be to our immediate detriment.
This is not the last chapter of the human race. Stay safe.
Stay safe.
Stay home. They are coming.
And then they did.
There you have it. Confusion, collateral, collaboration. And that's only file 12. Tune in next time. You know where, you know when. Stay safe, my brothers and sisters. Watch the skies.
The Theater of Tomorrow was created by Andy Hamer, Travis McMaster, and Mark Whitten. The End and How It Began was created by Travis McMaster. Words by Travis McMaster and Mark Whitten. This production was fortunate in securing the services of Colli Nienaltowski and Mark Whitten. If you like listening to the Theater of Tomorrow, tune your telelectroscope to FateCrafters.net. FateCrafters.net is home to radioelectric dramas and podcasts alike. This week's program recommendation, Atheist Apocalypse. Listen as a lovely band of misfits learn to deal with the challenges of life after the apocalypse. Stay tuned for the next thrilling episode of The End and How It Began.
Tonight's production was a work of fiction produced entirely for the Theater of Tomorrow.